Hi, this is Mr. Model Paul with my next build, and this will be running alongside the Tiger one I'm doing as well. This is the JAGDPANZER 38T Howitzer, the mid-production version from TAMIYA. Kit number is, let's find a kit number for you. Here we go, it's 35285. So that's the kit. This was released in 2007, I believe. So it's quite an old kit by today's standards, but still really well moulded and I couldn't see any flash on the parts when I've just done the check. Anyway, so that's the kit we're going to be building. This is for the Bulge to Berlin build on flooring models. So there you go, and I'll just put there you go, that's what it is for them, and that's what we're doing it for. I'm doing it for, but I'm also putting it on the channel because that's one of the things I like to do. So here we go. So I'm going to take this off. First bits you can see I've actually taken off the sprue, these two bits, and the rest of it's all on sprue. I just took this bits off to test fit to see how good it was, and it's really brilliant really at the end of the day. Just to show you, this is the actual lower hole. There you go. Quite nice. Really well clean as well. I actually cleaned the bit I cut it off in the sprue, and that's why it looks quite nice. So I'll come over here, put that over there. Next one is this. This is the whole top. See, the moulding's nice. All the detail, the rivets are lovely. It's going to look really nice, this one. It's a very small vehicle, as you can see. I mean, I'm actually started a bit on my JAG 16 scale, and I'll show you what I mean. I've been cleaning it up a little bit. But there's the whole of this, and that's the actual... it gives you an idea of the size. This is the transmission cover I'm dealing with at the moment. So there you go. So there you go. Put it on there. Because that Jag Tiger is going to be a long build. And I'm just going to do a little bit when I feel like it. I'm building the transmission at the moment. Next thing will be able to do the engine and maybe put to one side after being painted. But anyway, so there you go. I might do an update on it at some point in the future. There you go. So that's that bit. Next bit is the sprues. Now I'm going to show you what they all look like down there. Move that over. Oh, this is the photo etch that I've got, and I'll just do this. This is the, there we go, this side's better. There we go. If you've got a freeze frame, you can get the number off that, but it is 36016 for the mid-production and for the TAMIYA kit, which is what reason I got it for. So there you go. And when you've got quite a lot of photo etch there, you can see, I don't know if you're going to see this very good. There you go. If I go down a bit low and put the shadow off it, sun off it, clear. On that side, and you've got quite a lot of details there, and I really like the fact you've got the toolkit and all with all the holes in it. Look, it should have, yeah, there you go. So that's what I'm going to be using. May not use all of it, but there you go. We'll use quite a bit of it. So here's my first sprue, and I'm going to bring it up close into the camera and show you now what it is. If I just turn this camera, I can see a bit better. There you go. Nice details. Slide moulded barrel, which is really nice. Might drill it down a bit further so it gets a bit more depth, but other than that I think I'm going to use that. I was going to get a metal barrel, but I can't see the point really when it's so solid and nice. Details are nice, as you can see. Toolkit. I should be using photo etch one clips if they're on the kit, and I think they normally are. Machine gun looks really nice, you can see. The MG34 I think it is. Exhaust there, and the gun mantlet, there you can see it's nicely detailed. There you go. That's that one. I'll put that to one side. Next one, there's two of these, so I'll show one because the other one's basically a repeat. And there's the tracks. Now you can see they're nice, and there's nothing I can see there, mould marks at all. So basically you've got the nice sag on it. I don't even see the sag there. Yeah, you can. The wheels are really good as well, crisp. And on the other side, got detail on the other side, which is nice. And sprockets, very nice indeed. All the way around. Idler wheel at the back, coming across, and all your individual tracks to make the actual loops around. And some nice handles there. They look quite nice as well. So there you go. So there's two of those, and just to prove that, there's the other one, and it's exactly the same, so there's no point showing the other one. Next one is, this is the last sprue, so there's only, what, three sprues plus the one small sprue, the actual whole top and bottom come off. And you get a figure with this, and to be honest, it looks quite nicely. Whoops. I will have to start doing a bit of figure painting at some point. I have got some to do. I've already, from a BT7, they're actually sprayed over there on with primer. Anyway, so coming round the engine deck, really nice details there. Engine plate, part of the rear armour there. There's the armour skirts. Now I might either thin those down, but there is some photo etch ones in there I believe. But if I can thin those down, they're quite thin anyway. But with a bit of sand and stick, it come up really nice. And there's the red mudguards. But there is photo etch ones for those, so I might be using those. I'll see how we go. I'm going to use a lot of the PRE photo etch, but there you go. I'm just going to stop and bit of that each time. These are replaced by actual grill, so which is nice. There you go. So that's the last sprue. Then you've got the decals, which are still in the packet. I won't take them out, but get some nice details there. They're normally pretty thick, but but I think with a decent solution on, you can get them down nice. And there's no simmer on this, so you haven't got to worry about all the air bubbles coming through. And the next thing is the other sheet you get. You've got the instructions, which I haven't shown you that. Well, I'll show you those. Here we go. Looks like this. That's what it should be. The instructions are pretty straightforward, really. I'm not going to zoom up. I'm going to bring it up to you so it'll be easier. So I'll do this so you can see the details if you want to read that later. So freeze the frame there. Once you're freezing that, I'm going to move over to the other bit, and there's the last bit in English there. Freeze the frame there, and you should be alright to read that. And basically, it's pretty straightforward. You get all the usual blurb at the beginning about safety about modelling. Then you get the basic whole structure being built in number 1. And next is the putting the wheels together, number 2, which is over there. It's all part of the front sprocket area. And then you start talking about bringing everything together, the whole piece, all the suspension parts together, and that's in number 3. And then you get down the bottom, put the idler wheel and the sprockets together. It's pretty good. The sprocket has actually got a rubber cap, so you can actually turn the tracks round to get them in the right position, so it'll be okay when you actually build the tracks. That's pretty good. Next one is obviously putting the wheels on, which is number 5. Then you get to number 6, which is basically adding details onto the rear plate, the actual rear hull plate when near the engine compartment. Pretty straightforward. And then you've got number 7, and that's building the tracks up. If you want to use the rubber ones, which are in there, I've got the rubber ones. I haven't shown those because I won't be using them anyway. But everyone knows what rubber band ones look like. I'm not going to be using those because I like the idea of the actual weight of the track showing. Number 8 is basically putting the rubber bands on, which is okay if you want to use the rubber band ones. But number 9, it shows you that is the actual pattern to actually put the wheels together. So you can see it's straightforward to how to do that. And if you're careful, you can actually build the tracks and then leave one end loose, so you can actually peel them off and paint them separately. And I'm going to try that. I know Panzermaster 46 does that in his build, so there you go. So it's not too bad. Then you've got 10 carries on doing the top hull plate now, building the whole top plate, upper hull. And then you get to number 11, gives you some of the internal details, periscopes and monoscopes and everything to actually do with the loader and the commander. And then you're actually putting the mudguards on, which I said I might be using the actual photo etch parts for that. And then you're actually attaching the top hull to the actual lower hull in number 13. And then not much more left now. And then you get around to putting whoops, there you can see this, put the exhaust on, put together, and attaching the exhaust and adding the extra bits onto it, and the actual mudguard supports from the rear. Then you start building the mechanism for the gun, which starts there. This is number 15, and then you go over to there. Next thing you do is number 16, which is basically adding, after you've done this bit, putting the breech together and the gun barrel in, and using these large poly caps to actually, where's a bit, I'm going to show you, large poly caps, which is shown there as well. Large poly caps to actually do the bit. There you go, you can see them now. To actually, so you've got all the movement up and down and side to side. Then you go down and you actually finally complete the putting the modules together in number 16. And then in 17 you actually attach the gun to the front of the Glacius. And then you start talking about putting doors on the commander's hatch and the gunner's hatches on. Then you build the toolkit. So there's a photo etch one for that with a load of holes in, which is what it should have, so I'll be doing that. Then you come down to Mr. Jack to build him up, quite straightforward. Then onto the other side, put bonnet, and if there's photo etch for this, I'll be using photo etch to actually put the jack and tools on board. Then you get to the remote control machine gun, which all these vehicles, later vehicles had, for the JAGDPANZER 38T. And there she goes, and then there's the shield to go on as well. So there you go, you've got a choice. That's a jack, sorry, that's a jack, and then the machine gun's being put together, and there she is with the actual side shields, which I've got photo etch for that as well. And on to the next side. This is the last bit of the build now. Right, and give it to show. And that's it, it's better. And there she is, and all you're doing is putting all the bits and the extra spare tracks on the back. And there it is. And then you talk about the building the figure and painting them up in various colours. Black or field grey. Basically field grey most of these vehicles crews had in the end, but there you go. But you can do black's normally for Panzer, normally what reminds me of Panzer division people crew. There you go. So, and that's how straightforward it is. You get a few options in the colour. So I'm coming back now, and this is the colour. Now I'm actually going to be possibly doing this one, which is the Panzer Jaguar 744 Panzer Army Czechoslovakia Summer 45. I'll be doing that. So quite like it. Bit of colour in it with different wheels and being different colours. And I might be painting it by hand or spraying. I'm not sure which way to go with that. If I can get a fine line. I'm presuming they painted these by hand in the factory. Wouldn't surprise me. There are other vehicles. This one looks quite nice. It's a bit white. But yes, quite nice, but it does look nice. Looks nice, but I'm not doing that. That is the one I'm actually going to. Then you've got this one, which is another nice one. But this was in France, near the border with Germany, and drinking ambush camouflage called Light and Shadow. It's called, and it was applied. So looks nice again. It's another very similar to the other one. Definitely would have to use some sort of paintbrush there to get all those nice little curves. And you've got another vehicle over here, it's Czechoslovakia May again in 1945, there it is. So you've got those choices. And as I said, I've got a feeling I'll be going for this one. There you go. Right. And just to show that I have still got them. I normally put this straight in the bin to be quite honest, but there they are. They're quite nice, but the plastic ones are better. So thank you very much for watching this video, and this really another update in a couple of weeks' time most probably. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and my next update will be on my Tiger 1, the TAMIYA 1 Otto Carriers build. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Happy modelling and keep safe.